Florida Homestead Exemption explained. Chris, break this down for us.
Florida Homestead Exemption. This is one of the most important things that you can do for yourself as a homeowner. So what is the Florida Homestead Exemption? So if you're a homeowner, you are taxed on the value of your home each year, and those taxes are adjusted each year. Whenever you pay your mortgage, it is divided into 4 parts called PITI. You have principal, you have interest, you have taxes, and insurance. Your taxes and insurance, they move up and down depending on what's happening throughout the year. And those taxes, they are definitely going to move based on if you got the homestead exemption or not. Now, lots of people get surprised with this because taxes are paid in what's called arrears. So if you think of your income tax check that everyone likes to get every year, you're receiving a tax bill or a check in the mail each year based on what you did the year before. Your home taxes are no different. You're paying everything for the year before. So imagine going out to your mailbox and opening a letter from your mortgage company and realizing that because of insurance and tax adjustments, your mortgage has just jumped up $500 a month. It'd feel like a kick in the balls. I've seen it happen. It's something that's totally avoidable. Insurance is going to be one thing. You can obviously decide how much coverage you have. You can have just the bare minimum for what your lender requires, or you can have, more if you're like afraid of, your swimming pool getting damaged or the house burning down. You have a little bit of negotiation in there, but your taxes are not as negotiable. So you want to make sure that you're on top of this exemption. So the way that you file for the homestead exemption is you go to your tax collector's office, and they're going to ask you several questions about where you live, blah, 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 and the assessed value of your house. And you're going to be receiving what's called an exemption, or basically it's like a free pass almost on a certain percentage of your property's value. So let's just make a round number and say that your home is worth $100,000. At that point, you would receive about a $50,000 exemption on your property's value, meaning that you would only be taxed on the other $50,000 remaining of your property's value. So if you have a house that's, let's say, $500,000, and you're not talking about qualifying for anything else, like there's exemptions for blind people, there's exemptions for disabled vets, quadriplegics, there's all sorts of stuff. So let's say you had a house that was worth $500,000. Basically, you'd receive your base $25,000 exemption plus an additional $25,000 for city and county taxes. So your taxable value would go from $500,000 to $450,000, and that's a good chunk of change right there, especially whenever you're talking about the course of 12 months.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And in terms of filing for that, how do you go about filing for that?
So you go to your county tax collector's office. You're going to let them know your address. You're going to bring any paperwork. I would always recommend calling ahead. Any state that you're in, I would always recommend calling ahead, because you don't know if there's going to be a crazy wait. You don't know what paperwork is going to be involved, and I'm sure it's different for every state. Just call ahead, ask them exactly what you need to bring in, bring the required documentation, go in there. Whenever we did our exemption, whenever we went and filed for ours, we were in and out in 15 minutes. Very, very simple, but it saves you a ton of money. It's a lot. It's a lot. And some people they're not doing so well, as far as incomes go. There's been a lot of hardship because of what's going on in today's day and age. And so the more money you can save and put back towards, yourself or your family or your business, whatever else you're trying to feed, and you're not giving it to the government, that much better for you. So I always recommend taking care of this as soon as possible. And just an FYI, the cutoff date is March 1st, and that's for every year, provided that March 1st doesn't fall on like a Sunday.
Got it. March 1st. That's interesting. Even though tax filing is in April, in terms of the cutoff, there's like that discrepancy. That's
don't wait until April.
Then that's how they get you.
Yeah, as we as Americans, we're very we like to procrastinate. It is what it is, man. But the sooner you get on it, it's a quick trip. It's a quick trip. Just go to the tax collector's office, call ahead first, but go to the tax collector's office, get that tax burden taken care of, and you're not going to see as big of a hike, because a $500 increase, I've seen it happen. It's not pretty. It's enough to drive a person insane, especially if you're on a tight budget or a single income, and people got kids, so it's the more you can do, the better.
So with the homestead exemption, do you have to do this is this like an every year kind of thing?
No, you file for it once. As soon as you declare it your permanent residence, it's filed once, and it takes care of you year after year.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and just put it on the calendar.
Yep, that's it. That's all you can do.
Okay, cool. Seems pretty simple. We're gonna go ahead and link in the description the exact, like the nitty-gritty details if you guys want to read that. And I think that's pretty much it. Cool.
Heck yeah, man.
All right.